Hello and welcome back to Empowering She, a place where knowledge is power and women inspire, uplift, and teach each other. It's Saturday, so we have the beautiful Shenee Johnson here on the show. She is, of course, going to be answering some of your questions and giving you guys her expert advice. This week, we talked about healing of the mind, and I gave some powerful information on how you can heal your memory. I received some very good feedback about that, and I am happy that you guys thought it was helpful. Shout out to Neil McMahon. She gave me a call the other day and told me how the Daily Dozen is working for her. Remember, you can read all about memory in the book Unlimited Memory by Kevin Horsley. I got my edition through Amazon, but if you need the link, send me an email, Facebook message me, or tweet me, and I'll be happy to get that over to you. I'll leave my links at the end of the show, and if you have forgotten, the book that I chose this week for my She Reads book club is Intruder Revised, Knocking Cancer Out by Rochelle Means. You can still get that book on either my website, Amazon, or Rochelle's site at www.intrudercalledcancer.net, and my site, of course, www.indiarochelle.com. Are you guys ready for Shenee? She's been such a gem to us on the show, and like I mentioned, she has some great feedback for you guys. Hello, Shenee, and what has your week been like, girl?
Hello, India. Hello. Empowering She subscribers and listeners, thank you so much yet again for having me. You really don't understand how blessed I feel to be here, and thank you so much having me every single week. Yes, so I have had a really great week. I've done a lot of work, worked really hard with my clients, and my clients have been working really hard. And I really just want to give a shout out to them. They really inspire me and help me to grow. Many times I feel even more than I offer to them. So I just really want to thank them and thank them for just putting in that hard work. And I know a few of them have had a difficult time, especially in the last couple weeks, but they've really been pushing through and still keeping their goals in mind. So shouts out to them. It's also a really fantastic week because really a fantastic month. I don't know if you know, but it's Libra season and this is my time. And so my birthday is actually this Sunday. So I'm very excited about it. We have a couple celebrations planned out. So I'm really excited. So I'm already in kind of turn up mode right now. So I'm so excited that I'm able here to spend this week, especially this week with you all, because it's a great week.
Awesome. So what did you think about the interview this Thursday with Rochelle Means?
Yes, so Rochelle Means is a fantastic woman. I'm so glad that you had her on your show. For her to overcome cancer, beat it with really the power of her mind and the diligence of her research. She is quite a woman I would love to actually sit down and talk with some more. But she made me think about a couple things. For me, I do believe that the power of prayer is equivalent to the power of meditation. I believe that they tend to be one and the same. It just becomes a matter of semantics. But just the power of putting out your intention to the universe, to your higher power, what it is that you truly want and desire. And then also on top of that, calling upon your strength towards yourself, the power for yourself, letting that the universe and your higher power enable you to be the strength that you need to carry on with whatever it is in your life, any of the challenges or even the blessings that you have, and to continue to have those blessings. So she made me think about that. And I definitely agree with her as far as the pharmaceutical company. It is built to treat people. It is not built to heal. I think initially it was, but it has changed. It is a system of large financial power. And so it makes sense. Even though it's sad, but it makes sense that they are in the business of treatment. So I'm not saying that to say that medication does not help. I've been in, as I told you before, the mental health field for 10 years. And I have seen many cases where medication has been helpful for some of my clients, but the dependence on medication is where people err. There are so many things within nature. I don't believe that we were put here to not have the resources within our fingertips that we know that we need to heal. So natural foods, very natural foods, clean eating, fresh fruits and vegetables, water, drinking as much water as we need, the very basic fundamentals, vitamins, natural vitamins. So she was amazing. I was really, really floored by her speech. I'm super glad that you had her.
Yes, she really just inspired all of me. I love Rochelle, and we've got to arrange that convo between you guys. I'll give you her contact info after the show. So the topic this week, as you know, is healing and advancements of the mind. Do you have any advice for where people can start healing in that area?
How to heal and advance your mind. There are many ways to do that. I can easily talk about this for a couple hours. So the first and foremost thing, in order for that to happen, I want to tell all of your listeners, you have to slow down. You really have to slow down. There is no healing or advancing of the mind if you don't even know what your mind is doing. If you're not listening to your thoughts, you cannot heal or advance your mind. So slowing yourself down. I realize people are like, time is money, I gotta go, I gotta drive, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You just in this kind of hamster wheel of just running. And you're not slowing down to see what is it that you're saying to yourself. I know last week we were talking about domestic violence and individuals that have suffered, endured, survived abusive people. But I have found, especially within my field, that we tend to be more even abusive towards ourselves. Like, you are your own abuser sometimes. So mentally, verbally abusing ourselves. So we have to check in with those thoughts. And in order to change those into more positive, uplifting thoughts, we need to know what our negative thoughts and what our bad thoughts that we're telling ourselves. So that's the first, biggest, and most powerful step, I believe, to get into healing and advancing your mind.
I totally agree. It's more than just the mind. It starts with the body, even the soul. Great advice, Shenee. So I received some feedback this week, one from a Victoria Waters. She says, it's hard to think positive sometimes with everything happening in the world and those around us. How can I achieve a more positive way of thinking?
Victoria, thank you so much for your question. Thank you for checking in. We do live in a world of hard times, but it's all about your perspective and the way that you look at things. So thinking more positively. How can you think more positively? First and foremost, as I was saying before, the power of meditation. Meditation does not have to be the old school way that people have seen images of meditation. You do not have to be by a waterfall for days at a time and not have to work and no responsibilities and just be by the waterfall, and meditate for hours upon hours and hours. No, that is not the world of meditation. Really, the world of meditation is as simple as 3 minutes at your desk. It can be very, very small. So really, meditation, all that it really is you slowing down, you checking in with your body, you checking in with yourself, you checking in with your thoughts, you turning those thoughts around, being positively true with yourself. So positive thoughts are not you lying to yourself. Positive thoughts are you being positively true with yourself. Okay, so I have some 4 questions that I have used with clients actually in the counseling field. With being a life coach, I use many tools working with my clients, and I have found that these questions have been helpful for my clients. So I want to share them with you. So when you are challenging a negative thought and twisting it around to a positive thought, first question I want you to ask yourself is, what would you say to your best friend about this thought? chances are you tend to be more kind to your best friend than you are yourself. So I want you to think about it that way and see how you can apply that energy to yourself. So if your best friend had thought, I am so stupid, I am so dumb, oh my God, I can't believe I said that to that person. So what would you say to that best friend? Like, girl, why are you talking to yourself like that? So really get in touch with that. Pros and cons of thinking this way. Pros and cons of having this thought. Some people think that if they beat themselves up in their head, that will be a way for them not to do again. But I'm saying, well, those people tend to keep on having to beat themselves up. So that can't be working. So really and that's what abusive people say. I hit that person several times because they just kept doing that and I just wanted them to change. That does not work. So pros and cons of thinking this way. It's funny we use the word stupid because you really want to make these thoughts become stupid. You want to make these thoughts so ridiculous, these negative thoughts. You want to make them ridiculous. So that's what these questions tend to do. Pros and cons. And what you'll find is that you have a lot more cons to this thought. And third question is, how will you feel about this thought or this even situation in 6 months' time? So sometimes we just live, as I said, in this busy, busy world. We don't slow ourselves down and really think about what's going on, think about what we're saying, think about what we're thinking about. And situations, sometimes emotionally, we tend to get very tied up in things that are really not going to matter in the large scheme of things in our life. So really breaking it down that way so that you can learn to let go of that thought, let go of that situation. And the fourth question is, how can you now make this a more uplifting thought? So being positively true. So reiterating to yourself, yes, I am smart. Yes, I am intelligent. At that time, I just had a brain fart. Just call it that. We are intellectual individuals that sometimes have mishaps. So that is possible. I will have another conversation with this person again and they will realize my intelligence. So spinning it around so that you are not beating yourself up and being so negative. Okay, Victoria, I hope that helps you. Thank you again for asking that question. Great question.
Yes, positive feedback from yourself is the best empowerment. You definitely have to think positive to get positive results. I am a huge fan of that. In fact, my motto is whatever you put inside yourself is what you get back out of the world. That can mean relationships, that can mean your career, but whatever way you look at it, you definitely have to start with reconditioning your thoughts. The next question I have is from Onessa Lawrence. She says, I am an entrepreneur from San Francisco, California. I listen to your advice every Saturday and I love it. You have so much knowledge and you're also very inspiring. My question for you is, how can I make a stronger impression on people I meet?
Onessa, hey Cali girl. Hello, Onessa. I'm so glad that you have been checking in. Thank you so much for your question and thank you for that positive feedback. I really, that really means the world to me. So you want to know how you can make a stronger impression. Really, stronger impressions are just you being true to yourself and being the amplified version of yourself. So as I told you before, I am a proud introvert. And so even for me doing these segments, this is an amplified version of myself. Right? So in certain circumstances, you are going to find you are always true to yourself, but sometimes you just got to turn it up a notch, right? And so that's really what making a strong impression is all about. Really checking in with yourself and seeing what you feel your strengths are as a person. I'm caring, I'm funny, I'm outgoing, I'm, really checking in with that list and just making sure that those come to the forefront. Okay. And so I just have a little tips and tricks that go along with that to really making sure that your best foot is forward in any situation. Okay, so the first part of this is that people are very into themselves. They like to hear about themselves. They like to hear their names. Okay, so that is the first tip, is that you want to make sure that you are remembering people's names. Okay, and so if it is a certain networking event, you at least want to make sure that you are remembering their name within that day, in that situation, that conversation with them. It really says a lot. It really says that you care about that person. It really says that you're listening to that person, and people feel good when they hear their names. That's the only name that they truly care about in life. So to hear their name and to hear it several times is really, really good and really in your favor. Okay. Also, you are interesting. Be interesting and become interesting. Okay. So be interested and you become interesting. Okay. Be interested and you become interesting. So what I mean by that is, as I was saying, people like to talk about themselves. So making sure that you are asking questions that are relevant to what is going on, relevant to the situation, but it is about themselves and what they think about certain things. And so people love to talk about themselves, their thoughts. And so making sure that you're spinning that around to them as well. Okay. And then outside of that, being conscious of yourself and what energy you're projecting out. So the first and foremost is your body language. With research, people make split-second decisions on people without them even opening their mouth. And so a lot of times it has to do with their body language and their presentation. So making sure, of course, that your posture is straight and that your limbs are open. So what I mean by that is you don't want to have your arms tightly clenched around you as if you're insecure, that you don't want to be there, or that you're nervous. No, you want to make sure that your arms are open. Even your legs, crossing your legs, having them super tight against your body, that is closing your body off. That is not utilizing your space. What you'll find is the most confident people, the most outgoing people, the people that make strong impressions are the ones that take up space. You must take up as much space as you possibly can. Okay. So men many times are perceived as confident because they take up their space. Okay. Their legs are open. And I'm not suggesting that if you are a lady that you have your legs super open, but making sure that you are utilizing as much space as possible and societally acceptable. Okay, so making sure of that. Also, you want to make sure that you are dressed to impress, head to toe, your hygiene as well. Everything is clean, everything is ironed. As I said, I am a very frugal person, so I do not believe that the most expensive high-end clothes are what does it for you. I just believe that if you appear that you put in effort to what you're wearing, really says a lot about you as a person. And people do make decisions about people according to how they're dressed. If you feel stuck on that, ask your friends or family for some feedback. Take a little, selfie of yourself. Send that out in the mass text. What do you guys think about this? What do you think I should change? Do you think I should add anything? This is the event that I'm going to. Okay. And the next thing is just being very conscious of what kind of mood that you're in, checking in with yourself, having that meditative moment to see what kind of thoughts you're having today, what your body is feeling like today. If there is a way for you to avoid certain events when you are not in the best of mood, I highly suggest that, because you can, and people think that they can mask their feelings and just kind of put on that happy face even when they're in the bad mood. But eventually it comes out, especially if you're having a conversation with people. So your mood will come out. And if there's a way that you're not having a bad day, but it's not it's kind of like a so-so day. See if you can watch a funny video or a funny movie before whatever you got to do. Just kind of put you in that uplifting spirit, making you feel relaxed. And you know what? I'm going to kill this interview. I'm going to kill this networking event, and not really putting that stress on yourself. Okay, Onessa? So I really hope that helps you. Thank you so much for your question.
I love that advice, Shenee. You definitely have to fill up your space. And of course, stroking an ego of a person you meet definitely sounds kind of crazy. But like Shenee said, people love talking about themselves. Great advice yet again, Shenee. The last question we have is from Brittany Owens. She asks, I want to pursue a career in fashion, but I have no connections. And when I do make one, I blow it by getting nervous and saying something stupid. Ooh. I don't like that word. Any advice?
Next, Brittany. Okay, so you are being so hard on yourself, first of all, when you say you said something stupid. As I said, like, that is, I hate that word. I'm sorry, Brittany. I really hate that word. And I think that even you suggesting that kind of gives me some insight into the thoughts that you're telling yourself when you're at these networking events and so forth, or trying to make these connections. So really just being easy on yourself, not using that verbiage, finding a way to make that a more uplifting or more positive thought for yourself. And so it's okay to be nervous. And sometimes when we're nervous, we're not, I'll say, our most intellectual selves, right? Because we're just so insecure about what this person is going to think of us. And so sometimes our words don't come out like we would like them to, okay? But some things I want you to keep in mind is that what you find with a networking events, even the super professional networking events, many times it is not, and it's becoming less and less interviewee and more about who are you as a person? Are you somebody I could really work with? Are you a cool person? Are you a funny person? Are you a nice person? And so really, I think that networking events has kind of twisted around to more of that. Are you just somebody that I enjoy being around? And so I really want you to approach your networking events like that. So going into it and not like, I need to make this connection so I can have this job. Because that's automatically going to put you in a nervous, like, oh my God, that's so-and-so, I need to be super perfect when I go over there to talk to them. But really even approaching the room like, who in this room looks interesting to me? Whose shoes do I like? Oh, let me walk over and talk to her. I really like your shoes. Where'd you get those? And then just let that be the conversation starter. So really approaching it and not so much like, I need to be picked. I hope they pick me. But you kind of approaching like, who am I going to pick? Whose energy am I feeling in this room? Who is having a funny or a smart conversation I just want to chime in on? So approaching it that way, and I think you'll find that your nerves will come down. Also is you want to, I am all about female entrepreneurs. I just suggest that you are young to this, it seems like, and just getting out of school probably for a fashion, but really seeing and opening your mind up to how you can create your own opportunities. And it really shows a sense of initiative, even as you are finding work. If it's just a project or something that you're working on, it's definitely a great conversation. And it says a lot about how much passion you have in this field and what the lengths that you're willing to go to make sure that you are in it no matter what, and that you're not always waiting for that handout from somebody else. Okay. And so again, with those thoughts, really checking in with that, making sure that it is as positive as possible, because when you're telling yourself negative things, you're portraying an image and probably a body language of being insecure or feeling uneasy. And so people don't really want to tend to follow up with that. Right. So making sure that your body language and your mind are one and the same, and that it's positive thoughts, and your body language will follow that. Okay, Brittany, so thank you so much for that question. That was a really, really good question. Thank you.
Great advice again, Shenee. So Shenee, do you have any affirmations people could use towards progressing towards a healthier way of thinking? I really love affirmations, so I had to ask.
Yes, so positive affirmations, India, we are so here on that. Positive affirmations are everything for my life. I definitely recommend those to all of my clients that I work with. It is just a standard that I have. So a lot of the affirmations that I like and love are embedded within the quotes. I'm all about the quote life. And so really the best place for you to find many of those is on Pinterest, just for the sake of time, because there's so many that I love, so many that I love. But recent one that I have found and that I feel very, very powerful, and that I like how the words are interchangeable, is I attract, receive, and allow in appreciation. I attract, receive, and allow in wonderful people. I attract, receive, and allow in money. I attract, receive, and allow in support. Now you see how that works. So whatever word or whatever it is that you feel that you want, desire, really deserve in your life, replacing that out and putting that. So I like those three words: I attract, receive, and allow in. So that is one that I'm really stuck on right now. So I really hope that you like that. Okay.
Awesome. And how can people reach out to you?
The best way to reach out to me is on my website at www.ideservelifecoach.com. A lot of cool things up there on the site. I have a lot of cool surprises for people who join my email list. And I hope you enjoy the site. And there's definitely a link there to contact me, message me. Any further questions you have, or just want to check in with me, just want to say hello, and I'll say hello, how are you? And we could just start a conversation. So again, India, thank you so much for having me. Quite a privilege, and I hope that you have a fantastic week as well as your subscribers. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shenee. I'm so glad you could come by yet again and talk to you again next Saturday. This week we had the empowering and uplifting Rochelle Means here on the show. She definitely taught us what the power of thought, holistic remedies, and faith could do. I'm so inspired by how she beat cancer without chemo or radiation. If you missed that show, you can always go back a show to listen to it. If you want to catch up on all the shows, you can listen in on Spreaker.com, iTunes, and this week I also put the episodes on SoundCloud and YouTube. Those links are on my website at www.indiarochelle.com. You can also purchase her book, Intruder Revised, Knocking Cancer Out, on my website as well. Just go to the website, click on the tab She Reads, and everything you need is on that page. Don't forget to continue to send your feedback in. I read every email and my social media content, so keep them coming to feedback at indiarochelle.com. I'm also on social media. You can Facebook message me at www.facebook.com/IndiaRochelle or tweet me at India_Rochelle. You can also find all the information about this episode and others on my site at www.indiarochelle.com. And for the new and current She Reads members, I update the She Reads weekly book club picks every Sunday. So go to the website to stay current on that as well. Don't forget to tune in Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another uplifting episode of Empowering She. Before I go, I would love to leave you with this quote. Every time you state what you want or believe, you're the first to hear it. It's a message to both you and others about what you think is possible. Don't put a ceiling on yourself. This was once said by Oprah Winfrey. Keep on inspiring, uplifting, and teaching each other. I will talk to you guys on Tuesday. Have a magical night.